5 seconds ago.
We're in now.
Hello. Hello, everyone. How are we today? Welcome to Blood and Time.
Ooh.
Because we're mixing up a little and I am going to take the lead, which is scary for everyone. I am today Dan, joined by Brad.
Yo.
Geoffrey.
Hello.
Ryan.
Hello.
And Sean.
Hello.
And we're all ready to have a hell of a time.
Yes.
I'm
lit by the fires of the sun, by the way, if anyone can see my video. I moved my monitors and it's taken the wrong...
To be totally honest, I'm looking at you on Twitch and... Oh, no, wait, hold on. No, yeah, you do look bad on Twitch. Okay, no, fair enough. I was just... in the frame I was looking at, I was like, I was all right. And then you've obviously you've opened up something on your screen that's really brilliantly white.
Yeah.
And it's, it makes
Before we came on stream, Ryan said it was because I've got no beard now for Movember, and Bradley and I are doing Movember for charity. We've got the links. I'm sure we'll put the links out.
I almost forgot. I had to shave literally 5 minutes before we went live.
Don't worry, Brad. Me too. So it's our shiny faces are probably...
Can you come in a bit, Sean, so we can see what the stash looks like?
Let's see it.
I can only see
worse
half
than
the
Brad.
tash.
Brad's is looking fantastic. You look like a bombardier pilot or something, from an old World War One.
I look like my dad is what is basically it.
He's a handsome man. And I'm trying to go for a bit of the cipher, try and get a bit down the middle, but it's really tough after a week. But yeah, so we're doing it for men's mental, physical health. November, we'll put the links out. But that's enough about me. And it might be fitting with my character as well, Dan. I'm not going to give anything away right now, but the fact that I'm sort of very brightly lit actually might make sense.
I like it.
His character's a youth and he's just so lit, yeah?
What? Just a reminder, I am also honouring Movember, but with a different part of my body. And if we get enough raised, I will show the picture a bit fully.
£10. Minimum
£10 is not our target. Our
okay.
target is £500. If we reach £500, I will take a photo of my moustache.
It's an enticing prospect.
Don't do it. Give
Bradley's
us
getting the money.
Cap it off. Yeah.
So, if you haven't noticed, it's a change of personnel, and it's happened a little bit last minute. So we're all going to be a bit seat of the pants, but that's going to be great because that's how we live. So we're going to be running a game called 4, which is based on 24. It's basically 24, isn't it? So while I work out the last minutes of what to do with this game, how about people tell us how their week's been or what's coming up for their week?
Oh, well, I'll go. It's a very important time of year. And I've got my birthday coming up. I just spent the weekend
that's why it's important.
That's why it's a very important time of the year. I spent the weekend in the Cotswolds, which was really lovely, with a couple of my friends. We played, sort of honouring the origins of Taskmaster. We played the Taskmaster board games in a house away in some ridiculous things. You had to eat a portrait out of a piece of bread, which was really interesting.
Mm-hmm. What portraits were eaten, by the way, just quickly?
There was just like people just literally ate like a smiley face, like two eyes and a mouth. Someone actually spent the time to bite teeth into their one. That's the one that won in the end, which is pretty impressive. There were some good lullabies that went on, which was good. There was throw a hat the furthest, and the only thing that we had was a mullet that was bought for me as a present. Because apparently I'm all business up front and party in the rear. Apparently is why they bought it for me. So
same as Dan's moustache. Yeah.
So, but it was really lovely. Stayed in a really it was a really creepy cottage. It wasn't. It was a really lovely cottage, but in the middle of nowhere, so it felt creepy. Pencil drawings of kids all over the walls and stuff like that. And then there was a basement, and we went into the basement. And like a video game, there was like on a plinth, completely clean, was a perfect chainsaw. Just like, like when in
You're
like
joking. What the hell
get your power up.
It was like, in like Resident Evil, you like go into the room and it's just like there for you, like perfect.
Yeah,
and it was so
there's
ridiculous.
Some weird fucking obscure puzzle in the corner. That,
it was really, and there
exist.
And then we were going through all these like little drawers to like find like playing cards or something, and I one of them, and then I opened up a music box, and I was like, "Nope, that's going straight back in there. I'm not touching that."
So basically,
really
you
lovely.
almost recreated, what was it? I can't remember the name of the film now. The one with Chris Hemsworth.
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods, yeah. Basically, yeah, we had to figure out which monster it was going to be. But it was really good. Played an 18-hole round of disc golf, which was good fun. And I was beaten by one stroke. No, sorry, I won by one stroke. I beat everyone by one stroke.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, that sounds worse.
That's a much better sentence.
But it was really good. It was really, really fun. So I'd highly recommend playing some disc golf. Actually, it's a really good one.
Yeah, but
we should have done that today instead.
I'm not going to beat everyone off at the end.
Well, maybe by one stroke.
By one stroke, anyway.
I'm the one doing panto, everyone. We need to just calm that down.
Anyone else?
Yeah, anyone else had some nice times?
I've had some friends visiting, and one of them's name is Tom Clancy, actually, but he's not the famous writer. Another writer who'll probably be famous because he's very good. But he looks a lot like Ed Sheeran, like a lot. And he got pictures taken of him, lots of pointing, a lot. And at one point I decided to encourage it. And I sort of walked away from him, walked towards him and asked if I could take a picture. Posted it on Instagram. And that caused a lot of stare at where we were staying. Like everyone was suddenly looking at him and pointing and like asking each other, can we go up? Is it okay?
What's he doing here?
Yeah, exactly. What's he doing in Barcelona?
Did you use it to like get into anywhere?
Did you
like
to say.
No, he didn't let me do it. I really wanted to. I said, we should really monetize this. And he was like, no.
You should be like, look, I've got Ed Sheeran
free
with
drink.
me here.
When I went on a tour with a Welsh male voice choir. Don't ask. I went on a tour of America, and we managed to convince pretty much every bar we went into that we were the Stereophonics because everyone had a Welsh accent. No one knows everyone knows of the Stereophonics, so they don't know what they look like, right?
Yeah.
So we got into like VIP lounges. We had people buying us drinks. We had quite a lot of attention. This is when I was younger and not married, so it was quite a good time. Was had by all in America. Until I kept singing Manic Street Preacher songs at them when people asked me what songs we'd sung.
Easily confused.
Easily confused the two. So you should have used it. Ed Sheeran could have got you some serious sway.
Yeah. Just say he had slight cold. Couldn't do any singing today.
Got nodes.
He's a bit shy.
He's got a concert in Barcelona, and he can't sing before the.
He's not allowed to sing NBA. Yeah. He's not allowed to sing.
No, he's not allowed to say he's in Barcelona. That's why he's not actually very comfortable signing your autograph. But you can buy us a drink if you want.
Yeah. Nobody knows what it looks like anyway, the autograph. So you could just say, that costs a drink.
That's true. Oh yeah, I need to get him back here.
So that feels like a perfect opportunity to. Have we got Ed Sheeran's song to open our new credits?
We've only got our usual intro.
Well, let's see it because it's so amazing. Thanks, Brad. Run the VT. And that's why I had to be taken out. So welcome back. Here we go. Shall we start then? Quite excited about this.
God. It's only just sunk in.
So we are in the city of Fallcrest, as you're seeing now. It's called Fallcrest because it has a waterfall. in the middle of the city. City's built around it, and it's quite a popular town because it has obviously water flowing through, so it has a dock, and it's in the middle of a lot of. It's like a passageway for a lot of bigger cities. So whilst it's not the biggest of places, it does see a lot of thoroughfare. I'm just going to start playing a bit of music as well over here. So you are in this building here, which is the headquarters of the Fallcrest Battle Initiative, which has been around for a while to make sure that law and order is kept both here and in the nearby regions. There are other agencies that deal with international or cross-county and cross-town affairs, but for internal affairs, the Fallcrest Battle Initiative is where it's at. And we start this episode in the boardroom of the Fallcrest Battle Initiative. It's a lovely, deep mahogany table with some very comfy chairs around the outside. And all of the walls of this room are made of glass. And around this table, waiting for their first day on the job as probationary agents in the Fallcrest Battle Initiative, are 4 interesting people. Who would like to introduce themselves first?
Already waiting there, half asleep, sat in his chair, is a very, very old turtle. And he is dressed in just like what looks to be the same uniform that everybody else is wearing, but it is severely faded. It has been through the wash many times. And you just... Are we starting? What's going on?
So opposite this turtle, you recognize a triton. He's sort of got scaly skin. He's quite sort of lithe and handsome. You know, all sort of sea creatures are for some reason sexy in films and TV. I don't know why, but he looks very, very young. Like he's fresh off. He's a rookie, you can tell, and he's there because he's got like his, you know, all of his sort of binders and his bits of information and all of the stuff, his guidebooks and everything. And he's been there almost as long as the turtle has. And when the turtle rouses, he says, we are ready to go. I was waiting for you to start. I assume you are the sensei of this Fallcrest Battle Initiative meeting?
Maybe. I can't actually remember why we're here.
He writes, do not remember why you're here. Like, he just writes everything down in his notepad.
So with his paws up on the table, leaning back in his chair, talking to the 4th person in the room, you see this tabaxi, and you see this tabaxi sort of real smug glint in his eye. And you see, that's why I told them people, you got to put a tail hole in here, because you want some tabaxis in your land, you got to have to make sure the uniform fits. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm Hudson, by the way.
And finally, next to Hudson, you see a huge man, dashing, very good looking, very tall, dressed in what would be a suit, but like a battle suit. So instead of shoes, it's boots, and it's thick trousers, and a very long coat, and a huge axe. Says, well, judging by the look of you, I would say I'm the natural leader of the group. The name is Edwin, and I am at your service.
Yeah, of course. You know, leaders go out to the front. They're the ones that die first.
I'm Hagadane, and sure, I've never been much of a leader anyway.
Yeah, but you've been around these here parts, Hacker, for a long time.
Oh, I've seen it all, but I'm, like I said, not a leader. I've just tried my best.
Well, my name is Atlan. You know I'm very new here. I want to learn from all of you, but if this is some kind of team building exercise, I want to know that I am prepared to be leader if I must. If all of you die, I will definitely take up the mantle of leader.
I'm what's known as a lone cat, you know, often mistaken for a lone wolf, but you know, that's not really the phrase that we use around here, or at least in my home anyway.
I doubt you I will die. I will always be at the front of the battle, leading you all in the charge. You'll probably struggle to catch up with me, and if you don't hurry up, there won't be anyone left for you.
Oh, I definitely will struggle to catch up.
Sorry, and I asked everyone before we started the game to come up with a little catchphrase that sums up their character or a little bit about their character. So if you'd like to just mention your catchphrase, and I'll say why I've asked you to do that.
Okay. So Haggard's Danes loves to say, "Oh, I could really go for a sit down right about now."
Hey, go on.
No, Edwin has his call to battle. It's just basic natural. It's basic human instinct. I fight, you flight.
I'd like to say, well, my mom used to say, I got 9 lives, y'all only got 1.
You know, when I was at the academy, I decided I would take on the phrase, you can't spell rookie without, are you okay? So I'm here to learn and make sure everyone is okay.
Brilliant. Well, I thought I'd implement a little thing from Fate, which is they have this thing called aspects, which sums up a little bit about your character, and it can be used for good and for bad. So if you use your aspect within the game, if you can find a reason for your catchphrase or the meaning of your catchphrase to be used within something you do, you might get advantage on the roll. And conversely, I can call your aspect into account. For example, with Joffrey's, I might encourage him to run into a fight when he shouldn't. And if he fights that nature, then he'll have disadvantage on the next roll or something like that. So
I'm gonna, Edwin, just make sure you destroy any chair we go into in a room, because otherwise Dan's gonna invoke Brad's character to sit in it instead of sit down.
So interestingly enough, turtles have the ability to go inside their shell, which makes them go prone.
which is great. And as you're all sitting around having this discussion, a 6'6" bronze dragonborn marches into the room with a sense of authority and an air of being there and owning the room. He stands at the top of the mahogany table.
Hair trigger takes his feet off the table.
That's right. Well done, rookies. Welcome. Colonel Broyles, as you already know, welcome to day 1 of probationary agents. Congratulations for passing the trials.
Day 1 again? You told me to come because I was coming for lunch.
Well, yes, it's the only way we could get you here. Dane, welcome to day 1. Hopefully you'll do better this year.
I'm sorry, how long has the turtle, who I thought was maybe the leader, how long has the turtle been?
He's actually been here longer than I have, so it's hard to tell.
This is the 13th probationary period I've been in.
Well, lucky for some.
Safe to say it's difficult to get promoted from rookie in this place, or?
Oh,
for some people,
it's so hard. I just can't pass the theory.
Watch me, champ. I'm gonna get it first time.
Well, if you ace this year as well as you've aced your marksman training, hair trigger, you'll do well.
Yes, sir.
So, first things first, we have a large festival coming to town in the next 2 days, where Terra Angelus, the internationally famous bard, will be coming to perform. We have a massive arena being built outside the town. So as probationary agents, we're going to need you to set up stall and provide some help for the community. Do we feel up for this?
Well, I thought this job would be rather more hands-on, sort of a bit more combat ready, but sure, if we need to give back to the community initially, I suppose we could do that.
That's good to hear. Good to hear, Edwin.
Sir, may I say that I am new here in your land. I've been sent as an envoy of my people to come and train under you and learn and maybe put a link between my people and your people.
Yes, student exchange, that's correct. Yes,
yes, exactly. And I want to say, will the people be okay seeing a Triton of my clan here, considering that until very recently we were dominating and destroying most of the known world? Only recently have we taken the terrible choice to do some kind of peace pact with you.
I mean, obviously that's your side of the story, but yes, you may suffer some prejudice, as we did. He says, looking himself up and down, but people soon get over it as soon as you show that your actions are louder than your physicality.
Thank you, sir. And one last thing, is it normal for the sun to be so close?
Yes.
Okay. I've seen it only from under the waves. It looks much further away.
Yes, quite drying, I should imagine, for someone like you.
Yes, I have a device that I put up, and it stops the sun from getting into my my scales.
Lovely. Well, we were informed about that on your aptitude
Thank you.
survey.
A reasonable adjustment, I believe it is known as.
That's correct. So I would like to send you all to Bishop, if that's okay. I see that, Edwin, you brought your own weaponry, which was relatively against the rules, but
well, it's been in the family for generations. I couldn't leave the house without it.
Understood. Please make your way down to Bishop and receive your probationary agent's outfit.
Oh,
good luck, agent.
Is this one not good enough? I've had it for 30 years.
That's exactly why you need to change it.
Oh.
Go. So you make your way outside of the meeting room. There's a small set of stairs that you know where it is. It heads down to the armory, and in the armory, it's all padded walls, sort of leathered padded walls. And in there is a small halfling with like a shock of hair coming up all out. So brown and grey, and there's some kind of ginger in there maybe. But he's neatly shaven, looks quite baggy under the eyes, like he's been up all night, and he's got big round spectacles that seem to be a bit thicker than they need to be, actually. And he's looking around and he says, probationary agents, what a wonder to see you all. How are you?
Oh, good, Haas. How you doing, Bishop?
Yeah, really well, really well. It's always nice to see fresh blood and some not so fresh blood.
Hi again, Bishop.
I guess I'll be kitting you out with the same outfit that you've lost 5 times over.
I didn't lose them. Somebody took my washing. I've told you this.
You should probably just not leave it out in the road.
I'm sorry. Do I need to change? Can I just? I mean, these I think these suit me very well. I don't need to change.
Absolutely great. Obviously, you still have to wear the Fallcrest Battle Initiative standard uniform, but we have them in all shapes and sizes and all thicknesses of armor. But you can wear your cloak over the top if you want. There are tabaxi fitted armors, as expected this year, of course. And my apologies that it did not happen previously. We also have special armor for you as a Triton, which should help with the sun adjustment. I've been working on it myself. I hope it works.
Move the sun further away from me?
No, but I can work on something that will do that if you want. Probably.
Bishop, I wouldn't. There's a whole thing with gravity. Plus, it's going to throw my bolts off as they fly further. I'd say leave it.
Okay, fine. Not a problem, not a problem. Also, any weaponry that you will need, standard issue over here. And of course, and he hands you these little boxes. They look like little jewelry boxes. And if you open them up, they have a little tiny fang from a creature that is made, it's kind of a light see-through blue. So, they're the cobalt fang earrings that you can put in. You just stick them on your ear, just pierce them. It will hurt a little, but just try.
I guess my ears are up here, aren't they?
Hagrid sort of looks at it and just like starts trying to shove it into his ear.
Bishop grabs it straight out and just like puts it straight to you.
Oh, why did you do that? I was gonna work it out eventually.
And he touches his ear and he says, "Okay, agents, can you hear me?" And you can. In your ear, you can hear him.
I'd just like to say
fascinating.
That Ryan and I know what the Cobalt Fang is from a previous game of Dan's.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not blowing it for anyone, but no. Cobalt Fang, Bluetooth. So we very much appreciated that when we first found out, but it did take us a couple of sessions to figure that out. I'm ashamed to say. So yeah.
So these will give you limited communication. So you don't have to be next to each other, which helps for infiltration or moving, but it doesn't have a limitless range. Of course, as probationary agents, you won't know what that range is, so you'll have to find out the hard way. Okay, well, I won't look while you get tooled up, but when you're ready, I'm sure the Charlie, I think it's Charlie, for Agent Charlie Francis will be waiting for you outside the front door, and you can get on with your mission.
All right, so I think Hudson's going to step up to the armory. He wants to grab. First thing he's going to do is he's going to look for the small hand crossbows that he's got his namesake Hair Trigger Hudson from. He gets 2 for flavor. He's got 2 hand crossbows that he fits to himself. Can I grab a longbow as well, just in case?
You absolutely can, yes.
Cool, and then he slings a longbow on his back, dagger in the boot. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with my great axe, family heirloom. I'll probably grab a dagger just in case, but...
Sure.
Haggard just grabs a bog standard spear, bog standard dagger, and like a crude spell focus crystal that they've got lined up on the shelves.
Love it.
Atlan, he changes into his gear, like he turns his back and he uses like something to cover his body while he changes. You know, when you hold a towel up.
Yeah.
Is it like a really horrible noise?
Yeah. And there's gloop and other things, because maybe he's had to sort of put himself into his uniform using Vaseline or something, And yeah, he picks up. He's given his reasonable adjustment. He has to sign for it, because it has to be passed from person to person that needs it. He has a parasol to keep the sun off of him, but it hits like a warhammer if he needs it to.
Love it.
Nice. And then he has he checked it in earlier on, but he has to take his ceremonial item with him, and it hits like a mace, but it's called the piece of ship, and it's an old piece of ship. That's how they get their weapons down there.
I understood you the second time.
I think that's good. That was the intention. So it's found like when they come of age, these particular Tritons from this particular place, they have to go and find a weapon from a ship that has long since sort of reached the bottom of the ocean. So he's got a sort of rusted, gnarled, nasty sort of mace.
Love it.
I think that'll do. Oh, and he's got a shield as well with him. He'll take a shield.
Great.
Industry standards shield, I think.
Lovely. So as you head up the stairs and you're heading towards the suited and booted, heading towards the front door, a young boy sort of dashes past you, sort of pushing you out of the way, and runs in and says, I need help. I need help.
Onwards. What do you require?
Are you in charge here?
Yes, absolutely.
Lord Dunham said to talk to someone in charge here.
I am the leader of the group. How can I help you?
Okay. Lord Dunham's daughter has been kidnapped.
Oh, a damsel in distress. That sounds like the job for us.
Guidelines and say we're not allowed to say damsel in distress anymore. I don't know if you know that. There's different phrases we're allowed to say.
Like what? Like what, Ed?
We're allowed to say human, female in distress, or specify. In fact, we can't even specify human anymore. I'm very sorry. Or even female. We have to say in distress and then leave a couple of question marks. I'm not too sure. They change the guidelines all the time.
Are we just discussing guidelines, or is someone going to help me?
Guidelines are the most important thing. You learn it very early on. That the guidelines are the foundation of what.
Help!
Hargan.
Let us. We will follow you. I will follow you. They will follow me. Go.
Yeah, elbow.
Yeah, that wakes
Hargan.
the turtle up.
And the shell.
Okay, so the young boy leads you north and up through the steps up past this sort of forest region, as you can see kind of there, and up round through that ramp. There's a whole big huge ramp, as you can see, coming up here to the large Dunham estate, which most of you will know because you're with the exception of Atlan, you're sort of from around this region, or at least know this region well enough, and take you up the ramp all the way to the front gates. So the front gates are made of wrought iron. There's very interesting detailing on the gate, and they're left open at the moment, and the boy runs through, and everyone, Hargan's like running after. He's making his slow way up the ramp. The ramp continues up towards the main gate, and at the main gate is a man in his 50s, maybe, quite a slight figure in a wheelchair. His hair is shocking white, but he has two strips of black going down each side. Despite his sort of thin figure, he looks quite wiry is the word. Do you know what I mean? There's an inner strength to this guy. He doesn't look like he's feeble or anything. And he's looking sort of nervously. He sees the boy and then he shouts, Robin, you brought them.
I'm sorry, because I'm noble. Would I know this man's first name?
You would, and you would know not to call him by his first name.
Okay.
I'd
Lord
like to point out
Dunham.
Haggard is at least 10-15 feet back trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, sir. I would like to ask you some questions that I have prepared in my notebook already.
Enough. Who's in charge here?
I'm in charge, Lord Dunham.
Well,
How are you?
if it
Please
is a team
ignore my
building
colleague.
exercise, then
he is
sometimes we
unaware
must
of our
all be in
customs.
charge.
Edwin. Yes, I remember. Terrible news. My daughter, I've been handed a ransom note. My daughter has been kidnapped.
Oh, that's terrible. Can we please see the ransom note, my lord?
Yes, and he hands you a ransom note, and it says, Lord Dunham. Hang on. Lord Dunham, your daughter has been taken. If you do not give us the keys to your vault by midnight tomorrow, or by dawn tomorrow, expect to receive her back in pieces. And the timer starts now. For those of you who aren't aware on the stream, this game runs at exactly 4 hours of real life time and will start from now. You have 4 hours to find Olivia Dunham before she dies.
Is this a fusion of two J.J. Abrams produced television shows? I love it.
Absolutely.
I'm so on board. I didn't realize, but I've created a character that intentionally makes everything 10 times longer because of the nature of what they are. So that's great.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm really quick. Okay, Lord Dunham, where you got to leave that key?
They've told me to leave it outside the front door.
Ah, okay.
Well, whatever you do, do not do that. So can we ask you, my lord, where's the last time you saw your daughter, and where did you find the note?
She was in her room with Madeline, as she should be, doing her schoolwork.
Madeline is
Her maid.
the maid. Excellent. We shall talk to the maid.
Yes.
And I could just walk in.
Of course. Please do come in. He says after you've walked past him.
Thank you, Lord Dunham. We'll head up to that. I think we should maybe split here. Someone go and talk to the maid. Someone help me check out the room.
Oh, what's going on? I've only just arrived.
Kidnapped daughter. Maid saw her.
What's the daughter's name again? I heard Madeline as I was walking up. Madeline.
That's the maid.
Let me check my notes. Hold on one moment.
Daughter's Olivia. We're gonna go someone speak to the maid. Someone check the room. Lord Dunham, you rest assured now.
Well, thank you so much. Please bring her back. She's my hope and joy.
Acting. God, we haven't had that acting in a year of Blood and Song, have we?
Not to worry, young man. We'll get it done.
Young man, I love it.
I think I'm at this point way into the house.
You've gone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's an absolutely beautiful house. The carpets are thick and lush. The doors are high, tall, made of thick oak. And there are chandeliers with real candles that are waiting to be lit since it is only 9:30 in the morning. And the hallway has two large ramps that come up in a similar form to a spiral staircase, but ramps up to the stairs. And there's a big drawing room off to the left, a dining room off to the right, and a couple of other doors further away that are closed at the moment.
I'm gonna go check the room upstairs.
Okay.
Someone wants to come check the room upstairs with me?
What was the name of the maid?
Madeline.
Madeline. I'll just call out, Madeline, your presence is required.
She is made after all.
In the dining room, this brunette, quite diminutive woman comes out from the side, peeks her head out, and she looks a little bit like a startled bird. Yes, can I help?
Yes, we are here, been sent by Lord Dunham to investigate the disappearance of his dear daughter. We have been told.
It's terrible.
When's the last time you saw her?
Yesterday evening, before she went to bed.
Insight checkable that by the looks of things.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Let me insight check that. I'm with the aristocratic gentleman because I think that I'm going to do the most. You know, I majored in interrogation. I'm pretty good, and so I'll insight check that. And I think I won't go up to the room and investigate with you with the gunman.
Did that work?
Yeah, well, you can absolutely. Let's have a look.
Oh, look at that.
17 's my
18.
insight check. Oh,
17 and 18. Well, she's definitely hiding something. She's not telling the truth about that being. Well, it may be the last time she saw her.
Oh, not to worry, young girl. We'll find her.
Cardigan, come with me, and I'm just going to drag him up to the room with me, pushing his shell up the stairs.
Oh, but I wanted to hear what the girl had to say.
I will grab my great axe and sort of grab it, let it swing forward, and say, "My dear, are you sure you're telling us everything you know? Because, you know, Lord Dunham would be devastated if we didn't find his daughter." And just sort of whack the axe on the floor and
Make an
gonna roll an
intimidation
intimidation,
check.
Excuse me, I don't know if this is proper Fallcrest Battle Initiative protocol.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so as the great axe thunks to the ground, her whole body like shakes and shivers. I know I shouldn't lie. I know I shouldn't. Please, just come with me. And she runs up one of the ramps and she heads in the opposite direction from where Hudson was heading, because the upstairs has got many, many, many rooms. And Hudson, you were actually heading off towards the wrong wing. So you turn around and she leads you to one of these doors. Looks very similar to many of the other doors. If you'd gone up there on your own, you might have been there for quite some time. Anyway, and she flings the door open to Olivia's room. She says, "Look, quick, come in. Lord Dunham can't hear."
yes, he can hear perfectly fine. We just spoke to him.
No, he mustn't hear. Please.
It's all a little secretive for my liking.
What's going on?
Are you coming in?
I'm confused. We were going the other way a minute ago.
Fine.
I just push Hardigan into the room and shut the door.
Oh!
See, in this room is it's decorated in sort of maroons and golds. It's got a beautiful big sort of desk stroke dressing table up against one of the big windows that looks out over the forest outside, the grounds outside. Very gorgeous 4-poster bed with the drapes at the top, sort of the see-through translucent drapes. The carpet here is again deep lush red, and there's sort of books up on the dressing table, brushes, little mirrors, that kind of thing. And Madeline says, "Okay, listen. I'm not supposed to tell you, but Olivia went out last night, which she's allowed to do. She's allowed to do. But she said she was going to go to the Three Cats Tavern."
Little derogatory to me, but it's okay.
And was she meeting somebody there?
We have a catfish. I know what a catfish is, but I don't know what a cat is.
I think that's when one of me and one of you have a baby together.
What? Anyway, but she was fine. She'd gone with 2 of the guards. She'd gone with Keith and John.
Well, I think it's a clear solution here. Keith and John have clearly kidnapped her. I think we should go interrogate him.
No,
Hold on.
Don't worry. This is not what you do in team building exercises. You must not
Don't
jump
to conclusions there.
See, the old man is right.
So we'd only know me just a small part of the story right now.
Tell us more, old timer.
Really
How
Lots
old,
of knowledge, old timer. I want to hear all about it.
How old is Olivia?
She's 17 years old.
Okay, fair enough. What's legal drinking age in Fallcrest?
Oh, she would not be allowed in the town.
Okay,
Excuse me, madam, why does she go out regularly, as you have inferred? What does she do when she goes out?
What kind of young woman doesn't want to go out?
No, of course.
I mean, if I was allowed out...
What did she do when she went out?
Well, she liked to see the town, especially in the evening, because she wants to get to know people of the town. Her father is the mayor of this town, and she wants to get to know the people so she can be a good leader too.
And if I was to
I understand the desire
that?
for leadership.
You can insert check that if you want.
18.
Yes, I mean she absolutely believes that she's telling the truth about that.
Can you remind me of the guards' names again, please? Olivia?
No, not Olivia. One was called Keith. I've got it in my notepad. And one was called John.
That's right. And they've been here for ages. They're Olivia's personal guard.
Well, I see only 2 possibilities upon deeper reflection. Option 1, she's eloped with one of the 2 guards, in which case we need to find them.
Or maybe both.
Where are these guards?
Option 2, she has eloped with somebody else. A young lady her age is probably only interested in drinking and
debauchery.
Laying eggs.
Are you saying this about our mayor's daughter?
Well,
Not
we gotta
officially.
keep. The thing is, the Fallcrest Battle Initiative keep all options on the table
I
until
strike
one
off
is
the record, by the way.
until one is found to be the truth. She could also have been killed, but we're not saying that has happened.
Madam, control yourself. It is obvious. She may have been killed. Shark fin's razor, they say it's usually the easiest option is the right option. So
Well,
This is not how the others are. Okay.
Whoa, hold
Where
on,
are
hold
the
on.
guards right now?
Hold on. Others?
Well, obviously, I've met some of the other FBI agents, and you're nothing like any of them.
Who have you
Are
met?
you?
What, today?
Are you? Not today. Are you And she looks at your uniforms very
Well, thank you very
carefully.
much. I think it's a really good. We got all the information we need. Come on,
I've-
Hardigan, let's go. Come on, Hardigan.
I've been here quite like he's like immovable when you try and push him. I've been here for quite a long time, young lady.
Yes,
not to worry.
I
not
know
to
who you are.
worry.
I've seen you at the tavern many a time.
Now, calm down, calm down. Can you tell me where the guards are now?
Well, they should. I haven't seen them. They should be at the guards' quarters.
Aha.
But
Where's the guards' quarters?
It's just to the east. You can see this little hut here. She points out as the
Oh,
guards' quarters.
thank you, Olivia. We'll be on our way now to
It's
find
Madeline.
Madeline.
Yes, thank you, Madeline. You've been surprisingly helpful for one of your station. I will go to the guards' barracks now. You feel free to follow me. That one just...
Is it just explicitly clear that it's she's mentioning that she's met other agents? It's not that she's seen them very recently?
No. It's that's you imagine that obviously the FBI are present around here.
Please don't hate me. It's my character. It's not
I
me.
love it. I love it.
No, someone has to take charge out of us lot, obviously.
Okay, so you make your way down through the spiral ramps in the hallway where there's lush red carpet and chandeliers with fresh candles just waiting to be lit in the evening, since it is 10 o'clock in the morning now. And you walk past the heavy oak doors and out through the front. And you make your way down sort of the entrance ramp and towards the guard room.
I will walk up to the door, knock very loudly on the door. To the guard, Keith. To the guard, John. Produce your presence outside, or we shall be forced to break an entry and arrest you.
Before you finish, the door opens. Hello?
Are you
State
the guard,
your name,
John or
soldier.
Keith?
I am head guard Paul.
Okay,
we
Paul.
are- Yes, Hair Trigger, you do the talking.
Okay, Paul. We need to see Guardsman Keith and Guardsman John. We are from the Fallcrest
You
Battle
and me
Initiative.
both, my friend. Are you here to find out why they haven't come back? They should be reporting for duty. They're missing.
How long have they been missing? Let me guess.
Well-
Since last night?
That's correct.
Have they often taken one lover between the two of them in their past?
What? Sorry, what?
It's just
Yeah,
a
what's the-
regular procedure to ask these questions.
Please answer the
I'm
question,
not
sir.
sure I've ever asked that question before in all my years.
Have you taken
You are not
interest
being
in
very
if you
helpful,
haven't.
Guardman Paul.
Well, Keith and John are themselves lovers of each other. Not that I see this is any. Why am I answering this question?
Well, actually, that's
Well,
that's actually
because
really helpful.
Anything can be helpful.
Alan, you can strike the
We're
eloping
investigating
theory off of the off of the-
missing
Yes, I think we're
daughter
back to the
of
drawing board.
Yes, I've heard. And are you going to do anything about this? Olivia
We
and
are
my two guards are missing.
Calm down, young man. We are doing everything that we can.
If I didn't have to be in charge of the security detail around here, I'd be out in those streets trying to find them.
Absolutely, but
Do you
you're,
know who would have to let Olivia and the two guardsmen out of the gates last night? Who
Well,
was
they
on
would have had the
post
keys to
duty?
leave.
But somebody must have been posted at the gates to see them
You are
leave.
correct. You are correct. There would be someone there.
And who was that?
It was. It was.
you might want to check your logs, old man.
I think he's knocked
No,
his
not
head.
you, old man. I mean, this guard.
Did
You
you,
know,
did
these-
you
these
press
cushy-
a button to make that awesome noise? The creepiness just happened, or was it just timed perfectly, Dan?
Probably just timed
Oh,
perfectly.
it was
It's just
good.
luck.
Look,
Can
these
we
these
insight, can we
these
insight
private.
that to see if it was a him hiding something or
Yeah.
a glitch in his brain?
Yeah, you
Okay,
absolutely
I'll
can.
insight check.
These
that.
private guards, you know, they ain't on the front line like we do. You know, they got those cushy jobs, nice
13.
sack of coin, little house to live in.
Okay.
You know,
It's hard to tell, but you would guess that he seems quite fluid in his talking.
Is there anything else last night that stands out in your brain as unusual or out of place?
Well, I feel personally responsible because it was my night off.
That's
My
not
scheduled night
what
off,
I asked,
so I can spend
but
time with my
okay.
wife.
What
So I
do you
don't
do
know
on your night
anything
off?
unusual. I spend it with my wife, who I don't get to see that often. So we had
Uh-oh.
a very nice.
That's Dan channeling something.
That's Dan
there.
channeling. We had a very nice shepherd's pie. She makes a very nice shepherd's pie, let me tell you. And we had a glass or two of a wine that I've been saving up for. Why am I telling you this?
You would
Anyway,
have leftovers or something.
What was
for
the name of the
shepherd's
wine,
pie?
please? I might take some for myself when I get next
Oh well,
go
I bought
for
it from
shop.
the Three Cats, and it's
that's
Erosionmo, very nice.
Erosionmo.
Gentlemen, gather your thoughts. So, Guardsman Paul,
I am.
tell me,
thinking
how
of
many
wine.
guards are there under the employ of Lord Dunham?
There are 14 currently. Well, 12 if you minus Keith and John.
Okay. Out of these 14, how many are here in the night shift?
There will be 2 on the front gate, 2 on the main door, and 2 patrolling. So 6 every night.
And who would have been here yesterday, according to your memory?
Well, that's very easy. It would have been. It would have been.
Can you tell me? No, I've forgotten.
Can't tell if that's RP or
Turtle person. What's your name?
Haggard Dane
Haggard.
at your service.
Thank you. You're a magic user.
Of sorts.
Would you think that this man may be under the influence of certain something?
I can try, but I'm actually not particularly good at that sort of thing.
It takes so long.
Guardsman Paul, just please.
I'm gonna attempt
stay
an
here.
Can I attempt an Arcana check to see?
Are you you are trained in nature magic, so you can do a nature check for this.
By the way, I'm literally the
In fact,
worst character to have been brought to a timed
Ryan,
event.
you can do a medicine check on this. It's as close as you can get.
Oh no! It was an 18 and tipped over to 2.
No.
Maybe
So-
I think the hair trigger Hudson's just annoyed at the fact he's like, he's on the take. He's gone private. He's got private security.
It's very well paid. Can afford the wine.
Edwin, sir, if I may, can I ask you to use the technique you used earlier on when you took out the big sword and then you banged it on the floor? It was very good.
Oh,
And now-
that I didn't do anything. As I do this, I will unsheath the axe. So you see, my family heirloom. This is my axe. I always find it's beautiful and large and heavy, and it just has this beautiful way of sort of staying in the right place.
Make an intimidation check.
Can I
Whack
give
it
you
into the
guidance while I
floor
do
just
that?
under.
The cantrip
And
guidance.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
That's not an efficient investigation technique there, young man. You'll scare all of our potential leads.
So as you
Oh, that didn't go very well.
as you lift your great axe at the height of the midday sun, your axe falls to the ground, and Guardsman Paul bristles. Here, do you think I've been working this long to fall for that kind of crap? We're done here. Bye. And he slams the door shut.
And I
Well-
scratch out the technique. As
2 working theories, which were that she had eloped with John or had eloped with
Keith.
Keith, have now been debunked. So it's back to the drawing board for us. I suggest we go to the Three Cats Tavern.
I agree. Although I don't like the name of it, I will abstain my anger to the end of this investigation. And then I shall paw a strongly worded letter.
Okay, so you make your way down the beautifully cobbled ramp, down through the beautiful grounds of the Dunham estate, with various trees growing out as the midday sun begins its descent towards nighttime. Oh, a while off. And you make your way past there. back towards the Fallcrest Battle Initiative main headquarters, and across the bridge to the Three Cats Tavern. And as you cross the river, you see the fast-flowing river as it falls off over the edge of the waterfall, as you can see there. The sound of the waterfall fills your ears, a beautiful white noise as the midday sun glistens off of the top of the river. And you make your way across the well-constructed wooden bridge, stone pillars with wooden slats, well held together, with a small tower on the end, but that seems left over from a time before. And you make your way to the Three Cats Tavern.
Can I put a spanner in that?
Mm-hmm.
As we walk by the
Fallcrest Battle Initiative.
Battle Initiative, I would like to just report into the concierge. Say, I have reports for today.
Okay.
Just want to leave a note to imply that the investigation into the disappearance of Lord Dunham's daughter is going very well, and that they need not worry. And
I'm sorry?
Is that it? No information. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that's Miss Cash Pound at the front desk, and she double takes, but it's too late. She'll do a Patrick Stewart triple take, and then you're off again across the beautiful bridge, well constructed with stone pillars, nicely.
How many stone pillars, by any chance, Dan?
Oh, there's 16 stone pillars.
Okay.
16 stone pillars, and really strong wood, well constructed. And there's a tower the other side, seems to be from another time period, which makes its way as you get to the Three Cats Tavern.
I will stand on one of the stone pillars with the sun glistening. Team, I feel it is time that we reflect upon the events of the day.
Oh, get down,
Edwin,
young man. That's dangerous up
No
there.
time for that. No time for that. Come
Be
on.
careful, you're too
I'm very
close to the
proud of all
sun.
of you. I'm very proud of all of you. So far, you've been as brave as I am. Onwards.
Oh, well, now he's run off again. I have to catch up.
Okay, you got the Kobo Fang, and you can hear everything we're talking about anyway.
Oh, I couldn't work out how to use it, so I've just sort of left it there.
Can I check his ear to see if
Noted.
That's so perfect. That's something my nan would do. Just leave it.
So as you open the door to the Three Cats Tavern, you can hear the gentle play of a bard and his attendants by the fireplace, a rich, roaring fireplace, even at midday. And it's actually a very busy tavern. The Three Cats is well known. It's a kind of a gastro pub kind of place. It serves really, really interesting. It's well known throughout the land. A lot of people come to visit just to come to the Three Cats Tavern. And it serves such things as barbecue displacer beast. And in fact, that's his speciality. Here's probably where Guardsman John got the shepherd's pie made as well. His wife would have got the recipe.
I'm quite partial to the jellied beholder eyes, they say.
They are very rare and only come in once a month, but they still do happen. It comes at a very risk. You have to sign a waiver before you end up when you have hot wings. You have to sign it in case you get hospitalised.
Careful. Sometimes they bring in the petrifying eye, and well, don't look at it. Is all I can say.
And it's run by a very lively and well-loved landlord called Janda. He goes by one name, much like Madonna, because he's awesome. And he is behind the bar with his well-worn apron. It's clean, but it's well used. And there he is, cleaning out the mugs with his dishcloth. And he says, welcome one and all to the... Oh, it's you. Please do.
Are you gonna change the name of this place yet?
Absolutely not. I think it's a privilege that we can name our tavern after 3 of your amazing kind.
Hello, and I sit in the same stool that you sat in for 40 years. Can I have the usual, please?
as you're saying that sentence, there's a mug of ale that just appears in front of you.
I'm just
good,
gonna-
good
I'm just
chap, good chap.
I'm
A
just
warm,
gonna
rich
move it
brown
out.
ale with a good frothy head.
I'm just
as
gonna
you
move
want.
that out of the way, and I'm gonna be like, "We are working."
Oh,
Can I try a local delicacy? It's been a long time since I've been able to try something of yours. I've been working so hard, late nights. Can I try a drink maybe from of yours, of your people?
You
Very
actually
uncivilized
have-
as you all are.
What would you like? Would you like an ale or a wine? Bradley, you can have advantage on your next roll, by the way, for sitting down.
thank
and,
you.
Oh yeah, of course.
We as long as it's non-alcoholic, we are on the clock.
well, that's never stopped your turtle friend here.
He's already grabbed his drink and he's like halfway
Yeah.
down, necking
That's
it.
the only thing he's fast at.
Master Innkeeper.
You're here on work, I hear. What
Yes.
can I do for you?
We are investigating the disappearance of a very important person.
Oh,
And,
who might
Madeline,
that
I
be?
think her name was.
and we know that they were accompanied by 2 guards by the name of John and Keith yesterday.
Oh,
We-
you mean Olivia Dunham? And as you do that, as he says that name, everything goes quiet in the tavern, and everyone, all you hear is the scraping of chairs as everyone looks around.
Jordan, can we go and maybe talk in the cellar?
Well, somewhere private at least, somewhere where we can. Have
Well,
a
come
little
in,
drink.
yes, come into the private dining room. And he claps his hands, and the music starts to play again. Please, come.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't
okay.
rush an old man.
You see Edwin hesitate, like he's about to give a speech to everyone. In the last minute, decides that maybe he'll follow the innkeeper.
Listen, while we're chatting, would you like some lunch? It's 1 o'clock now, so you're probably going to want to.
Yes, that could go down very well.
You know, I would love to try your local
would-
delicacies as well.
Yes,
Listen.
absolutely right. I have this amazing sea bass. Oh God, do you know him?
No, the
forget-
sea bass, they are our pets. We eat them as well. Don't worry.
Okay. Well,
They're
yes,
very
surely.
uncivilized. We tried to
he-
conquer them and civilize them, but it did not work. We tried to
So,
give them infrastructure, rail,
Olivia.
medicine, everything, but
He
they
leans
did
out
not
the door
want
and
it.
says, Greta, four sea bass, please. 4 sea bass.
To go.
Sure.
And one of the
yeah,
thing
well-
that the old man is drinking, I'll have one of those.
We need to. We need to
Another,
ask
please,
about
if you
Olivia.
will, Jordan.
We need to find out more about Olivia. Where she go? She came here to meet someone with the 2 guards, the lovers.
Oh, well, yeah, listen, can I level with you?
You may.
This must never reach Lord Dunham's ears.
And I put my notepad away.
I appreciate that. Listen, sometimes I make a space for Olivia here in this very dining room, because young women, they're going to want to go out anyway, aren't they? You know. So I'd rather she had I'd rather she had a safe space, you know. So she comes
okay.
here, I look after her.
I've
She
heard the
stays
joke
in
on my
here.
expense. Don't worry, when the cat's away, the mouse come out to play. I know all about that kind
She
of thing.
doesn't. She comes here and she plays games. She plays checkers. She has some of our finest juices, and she has a nice meal. And she asks me questions about the people of the town. And every now and again, she has a visitor. And that's it.
So,
So
how
who's our
was
visitor
tonight
last night?
any different?
Last night wasn't any different. She came here, she ate her food, she ate the sea bass, and then she went outside to go and sit by the river like she always does.
Whereabouts by the river?
And he points out and can see this little bluff here.
Okay.
And there's some trees and a little stone.
Did you have any unusual guests at the inn that had not been there before last night?
Yeah, we had all the same people. We had the bard playing. We had
Level with me.
and we had other people coming through.
Level with me. We got Terry Angelus coming up here in a couple of days. Is he here already?
No, he's not. He's booked a table. So excited. He's the custom we're gonna get just from having Terra Angelus here, you know?
I want to insight check that.
Sure.
13.
He's a fairly honest tavern. Now you will know this about him.
Who's the other person that you're saying?
You had a little
suggest?
pause there. You were about to say somebody's name, and it seemed to
my
have
paws are
escaped
actually
you.
normal sized for what they are. I think I have,
No,
no,
stopping
we
the
had the bard
conversation.
in. We had a bard in. We had the general, one-eyed Willie at the end of the bar, who's there almost as often as you, my total friend.
Yes, we shared quite a few stories.
Greta was serving some. And then we had the usual coming in about 10 o'clock.
You're not the first person to stop talking mysteriously during a sentence that we spoke
Did
about
I?
today. Yeah.
Who is this?
I'll tell you what.
person?
Could you maybe write down the guests that were here last night instead of saying it?
Yeah, and you were
Sure,
going to tell us what Greta was
a
going
lot
to
of
do.
people.
Can you write that down for us?
Could you write down who Greta was serving?
It's a very strange request. But since you've ordered from me, and he takes a pen from Atlan, quill, he starts writing. Greta served, and then he continues. And later on, she served 8 sea bass to people of the.
So we have a time period at least where there was. Is that's what we can infer? Can we extrapolate that from that information?
Pre-10 o'clock. Pre-10 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And is Greta in today in Keep?
Yes, my wife is here, cooking up in the
Maybe have a
kitchen.
better?
Sure, but Greta, don't get in her way while she's cooking.
So when he wrote down, so basically there's like a gap that he couldn't,
it's like he
couldn't write anything.
He felt like he did write a word, and there's a gap for a word.
Yeah. And the thingy, the guard said the same thing as well. The same thing as well when he was talking about someone. So something's going on here.
Everybody had too much to drink last night in this town, clearly.
Oh, I hope they did. My coffers will appreciate it.
Well, you shouldn't drink on the job.
Why?
Well, I think an innkeep is supposed to drink on the job. It feels like the right thing for them to do.
If I don't know my own drinks, how can I recommend them to anyone?
Yes,
Very true.
I suppose, yes. It would be like me not trying my own axe.
John and Keith, the guards.
Yes, very fine, upstanding men.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, they have gone missing.
What?
We know that. What happens to them when the lady is in the room? Do they accompany her?
They stay here. Yes, of course. They do not let her out of their sight.
And
I
they
think
all
they'd
left
sooner
together
die.
to the water.
Yes,
to go?
they do. Yes, they
Like
do.
in
Yes.
sight, do not let them out of their sight. See if they're lying. He's lying.
Mhm.
How much time have we got on the timer, by the way, Dan?
16.
It's gone 1 o'clock. Every 10 minutes is basically an hour, really, isn't it?
Why?
Okay.
Just
Can I
before
have- can I
Brad gives
have
his number,
That in actual time, though.
You're 35 minutes in.
I
Okay,
take
thank
the brown ale and I drink it through my gills.
Oh, Christ.
16.
So it's 16, yeah, the 16. No, he's absolutely telling the truth. As much as he believes that to be true.
Okay,
I think we should separate. I suggest
I agree.
one of you speak to Greta, the innkeep's wife, and
I
someone
can
should
do
investigate
that.
the river.
I've known her for a few years.
I'll
Well,
I
stay
will
with.
come with you. I
Okay.
will do the same.
Then
Okay,
you and
that's
I,
okay,
Edwin,
you
we
and I
can
will
go
do the
check
river.
out the bluff.
Onwards.
I ain't gonna get tired of that.
So who are we going to first? The camera pans to?
Torsel, I think.
Okay.
He's closer.
Where's Greta now? There, young man.
Oh, she's in the kitchen.
Oh,
There's no jokes to be made about that because I'd probably get hit round the head with a rolling pin.
oh, could you show me it in so that obviously I
You
don't...
know. Yeah, and he kind of walks out with his mouth, flings the door open. Greta, these probationary agents are here to talk to you.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yes. Hello there again, young ladies. Nice to see you.
Now listen, there's some carrots on the side there if you want to have them.
Oh,
What
that's
is
very
a
kind
carrot?
of you. And I take a carrot.
Soaked in the ale that you like.
Oh, I thought I tasted a little twang there. You know me so
I know
well.
you. Well, you spend enough here. It's fine.
So anyway, Greta. So
Hang on 1 second. And she like puts a little bit of salt in there.
Oh no!
She grinds a little bit, mixes up the onions. She passes you a couple of spring onions and a knife.
yes,
I'll
of course,
definitely
of
get to
course.
shopping.
Now, what can I do for you?
You know, I was #1 in my class using the knife, and I'll do all the chopping.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
Well,
You
you
know,
two
before
better
we-
get hurrying with the cutting because it's almost 2 o'clock.
Well, before
of
we
course,
begin,
of course.
I must tell you, as probationary agents, anything you say can and sometimes will be used against you, but also not necessarily because we're only probationary agents, and we must
Am I
also
under
pass.
arrest?
Oh, don't
keeps
worry.
going.
He's a rules man. They come along every once in a while.
Now, let me tell you, Sonny. Listen, rules are made to be broken, especially when you're making food. You know, you have your meat and your 2 veg, but that's not all you have. Sometimes you have 2 meat and 1 veg, and it tastes better. You know.
I
and
do
you put
like
some
it when you do
spices.
give me a bit of extra meat there, Greta. I
I've
do
heard
appreciate
that about
it.
you. That's right. Yes.
And anyway, back on topic. So we've heard that Madeline, the daughter of the local lord, has gone missing, and she was last seen here. But the young chap at the bar, he said that.
One-eyed Willie.
No, the owner.
My
I could never.
husband!
That's
My
it.
husband!
I can never remember his name.
You know,
Oh,
he made a
man,
very
I'm telling
off-color joke about you being in the kitchen.
Oh, did he now?
he
Oh,
did.
God. She grabs the rolling pin and she storms
but-
out of the
Oh,
kitchen.
Greta,
But hold on,
please.
hold on, hold on.
Wait 1 second, I'll be back.
No, Please calm down.
The door flings back open. Oh, you always were good at a joke.
Anyway, so we heard that you served some unlikely people at the bar last night.
Well,
but
I don't know, I
your
was just,
husband
cooking.
can't remember the names of them for the life of him. I
Well, he
understand.
can't remember our anniversary, so I don't expect him to remember every person that walks through the pub.
I never understood why you married him there, Greta. Anyway,
I think I may have stumbled onto something. Do you want me to stay here, or do you want me to leave you alone?
It was a long time ago. We don't talk about it anymore.
sorry, I
Sometimes
shouldn't have
I
brought
think
it up.
about it.
I shouldn't
no.
have brought it up. I shouldn't have brought it up. Anyway, so could you remember at all the people that you tried to serve last night at all?
Well, I obviously made the sea bass for Miss Dunham.
Yeah, it's
She loves
lovely,
that.
lovely.
And in fact, yours are almost ready.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Then I had to make 8 steaks, 7 of our special burgers with special meat in it.
What sort of special meat?
It's a secret recipe. And she can see her sidling over to the edge.
Well, let's
to
not
sort of
worry about.
want to
Let's
do
not
the-
worry about it. We know you keep your recipes close to your chest, family history, and all that.
She's like wipes a little bead of sweat from her. Yes, that's right. And then 10 more burgers.
10 more burgers. Okay.
No. Hagrid, there is a bit of missing information again.
Haggard,
bit-
Haggard boy, Haggard, not Hagrid.
Haggard. Sorry. I know a Hagrid from back home. Very small, very, very small.
Hairless man.
Very hairless, bald as anything, like a pearl.
Oh, I didn't realize you knew him as
was.
well, Greta. Oh, small world.
I know a lot
small
of
world.
people. A lot of people.
Anyway.
Well, anyway, look, it's gone too, so we should probably start
Oh,
serving
fucking
up.
hell. That's ridiculous.
It doesn't look like, yes, well, you've given us all the information you can. 10 more burgers, you say. Oh, dear.
One more thing, Greta. Do you think that my people should have stopped the civilization of your people?
Can we hear all of this through the cobalt fans?
The camera pans out to Edwin and Hudson while they're off in
an
the chat.
hour ago.
Honestly,
Yeah.
genuinely, honestly, I can't believe the amount of rubbish that they've been talking. Well, at least actually, yeah. How far out are these cobalt fangs working? Can we hear everything clearly?
Yeah, you can hear those. Yeah.
Okay, and how far from
But
the house?
You can dial the sound down so it becomes background
Yeah,
noise rather.
You'd
than...
have to be sort of double, like sort of doing them at the same time.
I just want to get the range roughly.
And so far, you can hear them while you're at the trees, which is a good.
To be honest, Hair
thing when you
Trigger,
speak.
most of the time they speak, it's background noise to me anyway.
What was that?
Nothing. I'm saying that you and I would make a wonderful team.
Oh, all right. Well, let's
We're
head
back
over
in
to
time.
this
We-
cup here.
Presumably, we've gone slightly
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
in time. Right? Good.
Let's turn that down. Sounds like she's attacking him with a rolling pin.
Oh, what's this? Apparently,
They used to be
Hagrid
lovers.
and the innkeepers. used to
And
be-
as you exit in the pub, and the
Strange.
sun is just reaching over its arc, it's coming down. Sort of, you'd estimate the time to be just gone 2.
So yeah, we'll go to the river,
Yeah.
presumably.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so
To see
you
if we
head
can
to the
track.
this
Can
little
we-
bluff.
see if we can
Well,
see the
yeah. In fact,
tracks
why
and-
don't you make a little investigation check around that area, please?
Can I make it with survival to check tracks?
Once you've maybe found something to track, yes.
Okay, fine. I'll have an investigate then.
Oh, fucking
Oh,
brilliant!
look at that.
What?
Ugh,
Oh,
not
look,
far,
both
not
of
far
you.
behind you.
You both walk through, and instantly the romantic side of you know that this is a perfect place for like a midnight. You could see where the moon would rise; it would catch the river, and like almost make a staircase over to that island in the middle of the river. And it's here with the trees around. All the hustle and bustle of the town seems to just dull down to like a background noise, and the rush of the river is overwhelming. It's a lovely sound, and you feel almost serene and at peace, and you almost forget what you're meant to be here for until you see the stone that has seemed to be sat. There's definitely some people have been sat there. Like there's moss that has grown beautifully, and there's like 2 little indentations where someone might have sat there quite a few times. And with an investigation of 18, you can see a little bit of fabric, like about yay big, just at where you are in the woods, in the trees.
Is there any more bits of those fabric?
If you make a survival check, you can potentially follow that.
Oh,
Mm,
cocked.
yeah.
See if I can. I don't know what.
It's cocked.
Should I survival that as well?
You can try. So you sniff right up into Edwin's backside, where he is turning around and he's finding these little. So where the bigger shreds, you can see these thinner, like someone has been dragged through the trees. You can start to see them now that you're aware, because it's your forest place, Hudson. You can start seeing where the twigs and branches have been bent back a little, haven't quite come back the full way, and you can follow that, and then you can see, but you wouldn't have seen before, but only because you need to look, just by the edge of the river, some of the stones have likely been like 2 boots. In fact, when you look at it, it looks more like 4 boots. You start doing the Aragorn thing where he replays the stuff, and it drags you to the bridge, but instead of going over the bridge, you can smell something under the bridge. In fact, it doesn't smell good at all. It has the tang of iron. And when you look, you look under the bridge, and if you come under the bridge, you will see 2 people dressed in red and gold, hanging upside down, tied by their feet, their heads under the water, and their throats slashed open. The blood sort of, well, it's well dissipated by now. You can see it sort of congealing on their throats.
Quick, we must untie them and see if we can save their lives.
Well, hold on a minute. I think they've been the hell killed. So well, listen, we gotta make sure that we can't touch the crime scene. All right, we don't want to get implicated in all of this. Can we say anything?
Do you think we could get implicated? As if we could get implicated.
Well, I mean, you can get implicated, but I'll be okay. So if we can see, so they've been tied up. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And is there anything around them? Have they still got their weapons? And
no, they don't have any weapons. But it's hard to tell because they're in the middle of the river. They're hanging from the middle, so you'd have to go and get them, retrieve them from the middle of the river somehow.
So,
okay.
So they've been hung from. So they were on top of the bridge. And
No,
over.
No, they've been hung from underneath the bridge down straight into the water.
Can I use an acrobatics check to sort of jump across?
So
closer look?
You can try. It is most definitely a very wide, fast-moving river.
Okay. How would they have gotten there, though?
I mean, that's a great question, isn't it?
I think we need to report this, yeah?
I must say, I am very good. It is important to know what one is good at and what one is not so good at. I am good at the brawling. I think we need some brains to figure this one out.
Well, I'll tell you what. Have you got any rope on you?
I always
had any rope on me?
But not now.
Yeah, you can have rope. There'll be standard.
Well, no. Why don't you tie that around me, hold it, and in case I fall in the water, you can drag me back in. And I'm going to try and hop a little closer to this. I guess I might try and, like, I don't know, clamber up a support and try and...
Yeah, sure, like a cat. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly like a cat, yeah.
Make me...
one hand, just to
make me an athletics check then, please.
Okay, sure. Oh,
do a strength check.
Oh, how wonderful. That's exactly what I would like to have happened. So
I like to think I like and then just
that's basically what happens. So you go across, the wood's fine, but the last bit you kind of have to shimmy around one of the stone pillars. So you shimmy around the stone pillars, and your claws go in, and then you just into the water, which whooshes you away towards the waterfall. So Edwin, can you make me a strength check, please?
And this is Hairtrigger, why I am the leader of the group.
Brilliant. So Hudson gets whooshed away, and Edwin, because he's a little bit overconfident, wraps the rope around one arm, holds it, and just whoosh, splash straight into the river. So now we're going to make this just a quick. You can hear in the Bluetooth just all this banter going on, and then
your face is tightening up there, Loudon. What's going on?
I'm hearing some kind of disturbance in the force of the Bluetooth.
This newfangled technology is just not worth it.
I think that we should, and I take him by the arm, as one takes an old person, and try and carefully but quickly take him out.
Takes his tankard with him.
So as the sun moves over to 3 o'clock, the light catches on the river as Hudson, not helpful as a cat in water, and Edwin, with his huge great axe tied to his back, his heavy ermine cloak weighed down with water, are rushing at quite a speed towards the waterfall of Fallcrest, the fabled 400-foot drop of the waterfall in Fallcrest. Let's have you both make an athletics check, please.
Oh, no.
Oh, right, okay. So, Hudson, definitely cat in water, starting to drown a little bit. And you take on just a little bit too much water, and it chokes and coughs you. Are you coughing and you swallow just a bit too much? You begin to start drowning, so you lose a hit dice, which means if ever you to have a short rest, you'll have one less hit dice to use to restore yourself.
Okay, I'll just say I've used it.
But Edwin gets his head above water and he reminds himself why he's the leader of the group. And he spots what looks to be a very convenient branch sticking out of the water, and he grabs onto it with all of his might. As 3 o'clock comes, beautiful.
Have I got the rope on the other
You've
hand?
still got the rope on you. So just as the other two exit the Three Cats Tavern, can look into the river to hear splashing and all kinds of stuff, you can make me a strength check to see if you can hold on to Hudson.
It is at times like these that the mettle of men is tested.
Natural one. Oh,
You said you weren't good at strength.
If it hadn't been for the fact it was a natural one, you could have had the choice as to whether to let go of Hudson or let go of the branch. But because you rolled a natural one, you both let go of Hudson and let go of the branch, and now you're both flying through the thing.
Okay.
I would say, who would say, maybe 12 seconds away from falling over the edge of the 400-foot waterfall.
All right, I
That's
want to take that bit of rope that's around me, attach it to an arrow, and try and fire an arrow out.
Absolutely, of course you can. What a rule of cool you can do.
Thank you. It's a 23 on an
Okay,
attack.
so you
With
take it up with a longbow. You're going to have to roll with disadvantage, I'm afraid. Wet bow, underwater.
Oh, it looks like those two are going for a swim.
That's a
doesn't
12.
seem very
It's going to be a
wise.
12.
So the arrow arcs up and up and up, and because it's got like a 600-foot range, it keeps going, it keeps going. It doesn't grab purchase, but it does fall somewhere near the Three Cats Tavern, outside the front door, like a Hail Mary pass at the very end of the day, as you start flying away. Edwin, what are you going to do?
And I'm just baffled by the fact that I failed. I just can't get over it. I'm going to just shockingly swim, I think.
Yep. So you can do an athletics check then to swim.
Haggard is just going to pick up the arrow. Oh, what's this? Somebody has dropped something down here.
Okay. So you, with the 14, you can swim halfway towards the edge. So you're halfway there and also halfway towards falling off. So you have one round to work your way, Edwin, with the cloak's like pulling back and swimming through, the muscles glistening as we move to sort of 3:30.
Am I out of the water?
So wait, what am I doing at this point? Where am I?
An arrow has landed in front of you and Haggard. Haggard has picked up the arrow, at which point he needs to make a strength saving throw, please.
Oh, what's going on?
As the arrow comes in, he feels the tug. He drops into his turtle shell, and the extra weight pulls the rope down, and his shell shifts along and gets caught on a rock. Yeah, it starts skidding, but it gets caught on jammed between two rocks that happen to be there and can't move. So the rope is now taut.
Okay.
So you're not moving any further at the moment, but you're not moving anywhere in.
I need to, if I witness this, I need to throw my notepad aside, strip my clothes off in one fell swoop, so that I'm just this lithe sort of figure of the water, and I want to go straight in there to save the figure.
Lovely. So can you roll an athletics check with advantage, because you're from the water and you are checking, are you okay?
Well, even with advantage, I only got 13.
13. So you're moving. You move really swiftly, but the current is like really throwing. You weren't ready for this. It's quite
maybe
a
on
really
the
fast
land.
moving.
I tripped and rolled into the water because the
That's
land
exactly
part
it.
I'm not good at, right?
Yeah, your webbed feet got in the way just as you went. So you do that thing where seals slip first and then into the water, except it's gravel, so it's really not very fast. Bit of pain. So let's have.
We're doing our best, man. We're doing our best.
This is great.
Oh,
Edwin,
right in the blowhole, and then I.
Edwin, this is a genuine make or break moment.
400 feet.
Is he before me or behind me in the water?
He's much closer to the waterfall. Well,
Fine.
You're at the same spot. He's nearer the edge, but he's moving and you're not now.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, cool.
Isn't there a bit in like a Disney film, like Aristocats or something, where like O'Malley goes in the water and he's like, he loses his cool immediately?
Yes, that's exactly what's happened.
That's exactly what's happened. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm desperately swimming and sort of saying my mantra: I fight the
Yes.
water. Fight.
100% can have advantage on this job. Yes.
That's good.
Your survival instincts have kicked in. That's correct.
It's athletics. You said.
Athletics, yes, please. Well, there we are. And as he shouts out his mantra, I fight, water, you flight. And he rises out, like he's doing butterflies, rising out. And maybe his white shirt's just opened up a little bit, the glistening muscles along with obviously hirsute chest as he rises up of the water and flops hard onto the edges and grabs onto any kind of grass and mud that he can and pulls himself out, choking, spitting water anywhere.
I would like to attempt to get out of the water just before the cat and wait for him.
You're out before the cat for sure. So the cat just has to hang on desperately. So that can be an athletics check with advantage and a low DC. So you'll be okay as long as you don't roll a 1, for example. You know. So with advantage, he's freaking out now, and the leather pads on his and the fur just not getting any purchase on the rope, and he's moving. It's like you can literally see it all spooling out. Hudson on his own, about to head over the falls, as Atlan, like a dolphin, making an athletics check, please. Atlan, with advantage again because you're in the water.
All right.
Can I hear Atlan's dolphin noise, please?
Well, he would find the dolphin noise derogatory because even though people say that dolphins are intelligent, they didn't take up their rule of his people when they were asked. So,
something I found out on the weekend as well. I can make a great didgeridoo noise with my mouth, which is
go on then. This is the noise he makes when he goes to the water.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Because he sort of is like that. He passes the water through his sort of gills, and it makes a noise as he goes through.
I've sort of hyped myself up now. I don't remember how to do it.
Yeah, it sounds like a speedboat. I love it. Yeah. And Atlan's legs are like, it's making this didgeridoo sound as he flies through. And we're going to go full cinematic. Atlan reaches out and twists the rope around his arm as he dives through the air and catches Hudson by the scruff of his neck, and then drags him and throws him next to Edwin, who is stood there already glistening in the 4 o'clock sun, the late afternoon, as he comes up coughing and spitting hairballs out on the floor.
Men,
at this point, Haggard's gonna start walking over, and it's like, that was very tiring, wasn't it? I think I'm just going to have a sit down here at the edge of the water.
Men, congratulations. The universe has tested us, and you have proven yourself worth of my team.
The camera zooms in on Hudson, like looking up in the air. He says one last line.
What did we find at the bluff?
Medic!
Ding, 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 ding. And that's the end where we cut to the commercial break. Thanks for joining us. We're going to need 5 minutes to get over the hell of that, but we're not going to take too long a break so that we can have the second half of this episode straight after. See you then. Here we are. Yeah, he comes back in.
I'll take that ale now.
He'll do that shit thing, you know, where if you like watching it on, or when you used to watch it on catch up or on a DVD, where it plays the last half a second or 2 seconds of the previous to the adverts. Medic. Good. And as the 4 o'clock, so I've got to start my watch again.
Well, how much in real time have we had?
You've had an hour. You've
Okay,
had an hour.
fine.
You've had a quarter of your time.
Okay, fair enough.
6 hours, yeah. And the 4 o'clock sun, I'm going to waste more of your time now. You start to see the sun just beginning to orange over yellow, and it glistens off of Hudson's wet fur.
We found the guards. They were killed. They were in the middle of the bridge. That's why I'm like this. I tried to get over there. It didn't work. The posts were too slippy. And then so we found the 2 guards at least, and then there were signs of Olivia getting dragged somewhere. I think we found some of her fur. No, not her fur. Her cloak. Some kind of linen materials.
That cloak you would have recognized now that you thought about it. Looks like the same cloak as the guards.
Okay. So it looks like the guards were dragged, not her.
Mm-hmm, correct.
Okay. And Olivia was nowhere to be seen. So I don't know where we go and report the death of these guards.
I think we have 2 fronts. The first one, do you think Triton, Master Triton, do you believe you could do what you just did, dragging a good friend out of the water, if it were a dead body?
You know, the ocean is full of rot. Everybody's body, everybody that dies, they go into the ocean eventually. I'm used to it very well. This is fresh water, so I would not expect my performance to be as good. I'm used to salt water, but I can try. Yeah.
I believe we need to remove the
help
bodies.
you as well.
Oh.
This old dog does indeed have a couple of tricks that he can use.
I didn't think you were a dog, but okay.
Oh, it's just a phrase there, young man.
He's not a man, he's a cat.
May have been a phrase in your time,
I
old timer, but you cannot say that anymore. You cannot use the D word in front of a tabaxi. There's bad blood and history in the conflict, you know?
I'm confused.
That's okay. That's your usual state. So yeah, we didn't get much on knowing where Olivia is, just where these 2 guards were dragged to and obviously taken out. It seems
So
everyone has
shall I go with it? Shall I try and jump in?
You can give it a go. Well,
I would like to use.
Sounds like Haggard has no.
I'd like to use Mage Hand to help with some of the weight.
Cool.
Can I also give myself guidance?
And I think.
Are you allowed to give yourself guidance?
Yep.
At level 2, are you allowed to do? Just because I can't remember, didn't we rule?
Guidance
I just
is
remember
guidance
now,
is
suddenly.
Guidance is a cantrip.
Okay, cool.
I believe you could probably help with the longbow by cutting the rope, so he doesn't have to untie them.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea. And I'll use Mage Hand with a knife with my dagger.
Mm-hmm. Super. Now that you know what's happening, Edwin's going to tie a rope around Atlan, but also around one of the stone pillars on the side. He'll hold it to give it, but it's got the stone pillars to back up. Atlan moves quite swiftly through the water, as one might expect, and he managed to drag both guards back onto the land relatively simply. Obviously, he takes the weight of each body and they slump over his shoulders. He moves through with a butterfly stroke to one side, dumping one body, doing the same again as it takes time to that Mage Hand soaring gently but
Takes time.
persistently over through the rope, just cutting through that rope bit by bit, and then the body falling in, the cloak being caught up a little bit in that land. But he makes it to the side and drops both bodies to the edge of the water.
So may they rest in peace. They fought bravely till the end. They loved each other. They fought their enemies, and now they're dead.
Very kind words. Now let's Let's see what we're working with here. Shing, gonna get the claws out. Who were the two lovers? Keith and John.
Oh yes, sorry.
Yeah, two halves of two separate bands. So I assume is what Dan's going for.
What's that?
Like
one from the Rolling Stones and one from the Beatles.
Oh, I thought he was
I
doing
didn't
John
even
Lennon and
get
Keith
that.
Lemon.
Lemon and lemon combo.
Loving your lives.
No, because we saw a Paul as well, didn't we? So,
Oh, of course we did.
Oh, yeah.
And I imagine there's two other bands that we don't know about as well. If there's 16 guards, we'll get
this
there.
This is for people listening or watching. This is like
Dan.
Dan's bread and butter. Yeah, Peak Dan. He loves this stuff. So if anyone else can unpick any references that we don't get while we're playing, please let us know.
Yeah, chuck it in the comments if you think when you hear names or something like that, let us know what references you think it is, and we'll let you know at the end if you're right or not. I guess I'm gonna try and do a investigation check on these two guards.
Yes, do investigation if you want to search the bodies, and medicine if you want to see how they might have been killed.
I can try doing a medicine check, I think.
So you're still you go to as you're going to look over them, the smell hits you, like rotting flesh hits you, Hudson, and you have to you're gagging, and there's all hair still caught in your throat. But you have to go and have a little hairball moment.
I would like to help. I'd like to. Can I help with the investigation so that he gets advantage rather than me rolling advantage?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can roll again. Atlan, they're dead. They died.
16 this time.
16. You can search their bodies. They've been stripped of all of their weaponry. It's like they didn't get a chance. Their weapons have been. It's like they've been taken out of the scavenge, before they even got to have a chance. You can see the torn cloak of one of the guards, and one of them has his fist clamped shut.
Okay, I'm gonna try and pry that open.
So obviously you can feel tendons snapping and flesh sort of like bending, and it's quite gross as you open it. But inside is almost fused to flesh. It's been grabbed on so tightly. Is a what seems to be part of a necklace, maybe.
How do I check?
So let's say it used to be like a streetwise, but we could have like a history or a wisdom check or a.
I'm a nobleman. Is there any way that maybe I could?
So maybe history. It'd be history of this. Basically, knowledge of Fallcrest is what you need.
Yeah, that's me out of the picture then.
Edwin, you rolled twice, but I'm not quite sure why.
Oh, because the first time I pressed the button, it didn't happen.
Okay, I'll let you take the second one anyway. Anyone else rolling?
I mean, my memory is terrible, but sure, I'll give it a go.
I love it. I'd love it if that's the one bit you know. No, definitely not.
That's 3.
Nah, I'm not.
That's not there. So, Geoffrey, actually, you would have got advantage because this is to do with sort of nobility and it's jewelry. You instantly recognize the necklace has these really cute sort of gem butterflies, and they're exquisite detail. And they're only really made by Graf, the jeweler, in the marketplace. Down the marketplace is down here on your map. You can see that big marketplace there. Yep. Near the bell tower here, which is being constructed as we speak.
What's the name of the jeweler again? Sorry.
Graf, Graff. And he's the only person he's quite well renowned. They're quite expensive. These
Would I know
necklaces.
if it's can I analyze it to see? I mean, considering that you'd find a lot of minerals, stones in the ocean, things like that, shells maybe. Can I see if it might have belonged to a sort of a gentleman or a lady? Can I tell?
Yes,
sort
you
of
absolutely
who it might
can.
belong to?
Yeah, sure.
What do you want me to roll for that?
Just let's go for a straight up intelligence check.
9.
Oh, and 10 would have done it for you, but you can cast guidance on yourself.
Yeah, okay.
Which will give you the one you need to know, in your humble opinion, it has, the butterflies have a slightly effeminate way in your culture. You don't know if that might mean the same in land walkers, but it's definitely a thinner chain as well. So that seems to be the style of these land dwellers, that the women of this place tend to wear thinner chains.
This is my opinion that this necklace belonged to the lady that we're looking for. Why do we think the guard would have it in her hand? I ask you.
Maybe it was he took it off of Olivia to tell us to go investigate Graf. Maybe I'll give these bodies a once more look over to see if I definitely know what killed them.
You magic user, would you like to check this this butterfly thing for magic?
I can give it a go, sure.
Hudson, while he's checking, the bodies were exsanguinated before they would have been drowned. So it was like a bit of both. They were bleeding from their throats before they were drowned at the same same time. The bodies the bodies have emptied of blood now.
That is why you must die in battle, my friends. This is not the way to go.
That 11 Arcana, there doesn't have any buzz of magic. They're just beautifully carved. Beautifully. It's a magic.
Pretty. I might have to buy something like this for
for Greta.
And obviously, you can begin to hear the bard change their tune to that of an even song as 5 o'clock rolls round.
Okay, we need to get going to let's check back in with old Cash Pound, tell her what we found out, and then maybe on the way back, and then we can head down to the market to check out Graf.
Yes, you would know that the market shuts about 6, maybe 7 o'clock.
Okay, we probably head there quickly then.
We'll run.
And Atlan says to the corpses, "May I see you once again in the ocean's breath?" And he sort of, I was going to say kicks them into the water, but actually we probably need to
pushes them.
He wants to. He would normally push them back into the ocean because everyone ends up in the ocean. But he remembers his FBI training, and he just sort of wishes them well. They're molecules. Well,
those guys only had one laugh, and I got 9.
All right, fair enough. You can go advantage. Yeah, you can go for it. Although you've probably lost one in the river.
Yeah.
So you make your way across the beautifully constructed bridge with its 16 stone pillars and and made of wood as it crosses. Beautifully constructed. There's a tower on one side, probably from a far off time. Yeah.
Come on,
and you walk through the streets, past the FBI building, and you make your way to the top of the stairs. There are 731 stairs. It's well known, fabled 731 stairs up the 400-foot of Fallcrest Cliff. There's also this lift, which takes up goods and some passengers times, but obviously they are staggered times because it takes a while to go down and a while to go up. So you could wait for a lift if you want to, or you could take your walk down the 731 steps down to Fallcrest Marketplace.
I gently push Hardigan towards the lift, and I'm going to take the stairs.
Okay, this is going to seem weird. Is there some sort of way that without hurting him, I can put the Torkel in his shell and ride him down the stairs? I don't know if it's possible, but I'm kind of small and sleek.
Unfortunately for everybody, Haggard is already slowly walking down the stairs.
That's perfect.
Oh, he's going for it. So he's already going upstairs.
That's perfect. Right. I need to get him. I need to sort of find a way to trigger him into his shell by reaction.
You have to scare him.
Can I maybe have some sort of training on how to sort of combat with the turtle. Maybe I know
Well,
a pressure point.
I feel that that's between you and Bradley to assess how that might go
You
down.
can try and intimidate me if you like.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. No, because I don't think that would work. No, I don't think intimidation would work. I'd have to know some sort
The man's sinned too much.
Yeah, exactly. He'd be
I'm
unfazed.
too old for this shit.
Right,
so as you
well
make your way down the 731 stairs.
I would really like to try. So this is what I would like to try. I'm probably going to fall down and break my bones, but I would like to sort of try and jump on the banister and slide down the banister.
Oh, I mean, of course you can.
Like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, sort of like skateboarding down the banister.
So that's going to be an acrobatics check then.
More than one, I was hoping, but yeah, sure.
Oh, interesting. Question from Taj: is the 731 steps a reference to Covent Garden?
God.
It is, yes.
It is.
That's fantastic, Joffrey. Joffrey has rolled, for those who can't see, a natural 1.
Oh,
again.
The love of God.
So, Edwin stands on the edge of the balcony just as someone from the lift says, excuse me, don't try that, it's very and off the edge she tumbles. Tumble. Fortunately, because this isn't the first time it's happened, there is a safety net outside the edges of the 731 steps. And because there's been many a child that has fallen over the edge. And you are caught in that safety net, which is extraordinarily lucky for you. But it
as he lands, Haggard's going to call out, "Oh, watch out, you'll fall!"
It does unfortunately mean that you are now incapacitated for the next scene, so you will not be able to take part in the next scene as you are slowly disentangled from there and taken down by the very disgruntled lift workers.
I thought this is the way to do it. I honestly, I thought this was. I'm so sorry.
You don't want to know my thought about how to get down there. It was possibly even stranger.
You overlook the beautiful marketplace, the sounds, and even at this evening time, it's quite busy, and the lights are being lit as it comes closer and closer to 6 o'clock in the evening, and the sun is slowly setting. But the marketplace comes to life. You can start to smell the food from the food stalls well up the stairs as you're making your way down. You can hear the sounds of the fish market, and people selling fish. You can hear the general hubbub of people having a rather good time down there. There's many things in the stalls. There's fruit stalls, there's spice stalls, there's herb stalls, there's fish markets, there's jewelers. There's pretty much, if you can think of it, someone has set a stall up here in Fallcrest, sort of a hub point. And obviously you can see the odd boat coming in past the warehouses towards the dock area where things get put in. You will remember such wonderful places from your time at the marketplace as Graff's Jewelers and Old Hacker's Perfumery. And you finally make your way to the bottom of the stairs, as you can hear just up in the distance. That's not how I thought you get down there. I thought it was much easier, and drifts off into the distance. As you make your way into the marketplace, which you should now see on your orders.
Ooh, yes, I can.
So you've got Old Hacker's Perfumery here. You've got the fish market heading off this way towards the docks. You've got a whole bunch of stalls here, and you've got Graff's Jewelers just off to the east here.
If it's okay, I'm not uncomfortable, but I would like to avoid the fish market just in case. I have not yet fully got used to the things of the sea that you eat and that you don't eat.
I mean, we talked.
But you really should try the Kraken's tentacles. They're such delicacies.
Some of my best friends are Krakens. I don't want to get into it at the moment.
That's all right, Haas. We'll just stick with eating the sea bass.
That's good. They're silly creatures, sea bass. Absolutely.
6 o'clock and all's well. You hear shouted out.
All right, we need to get to Graff's now as quickly as possible. He's going to be shutting up shop soon.
Well, I suppose I'll meet you there. I assume the two of them power walk ahead and
Yeah, they
and
power
just sort
walk
of
ahead.
left.
Yeah, we're gone. And I've got but I go, if you could give us some help. Oh, does incapacitated mean fully out of commission? Like,
Yeah, he's not even
on
here.
the-
He's out of the scene. He's up
Then
in
maybe just like
natural one safety net.
if this is okay with you, I might have some pre-written notes I've asked him to make previously. So just in case, and I might look through my book to sort of get some notes out of it that Edwin might have made for me as our leader, just in case I ever need to turn to my book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to go to graphs.
Okay.
Yeah.
You walk up to graphs, and it's even the outside can tell you this is a quality shop. But there's bars on the window. The tiles. It's a relatively like run down. A lot of this marketplace is well loved. Is a better way of looking at it. It doesn't look dirty, but it does look well used. This entire marketplace. And there's a small set of rickety wooden stairs that head up to the entrance place. As you open the door, there's a tiny little bell that rings. Ding, 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 ding. And behind the counter is a small elvish man. And he says, "Yes, how can I help you?"
I want to sort of do it would be like a hello, Graf. My name is Hudson. We're
Sorry, you wish to speak to Graf?
yeah.
And he goes behind this sort of beaded curtain, and you can hear the tiny little ding, ding, and it stops. And out comes this like huge, like burly, like half hippo kind of person with like a telescope monocle on his eye. It's attached to his sort of a big thing around. He's got a a tiny silver hammer, like which looks really, really small in this sort of hippo person. He says, "I'm Graf."
Now you see this. Is this some of your handiwork here? And I want to sort of like roll it, like almost like what's his name? Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, where he does the thing with the disc. Is this your handiwork? And I'm gonna like.
I can't quite make it out moving at that speed. It's just can I look a bit closer? Is that?
And I pull it from behind his ear. Here you go.
It's so unnecessary.
Hagrid walks through the
Such
door
an
and
unnecessary waste of time.
almost deliberately to the small elf. Oh, hello again there, Graf. Nice to see you.
I'm not Graf. This. And as he goes, "This is Graf," he like ducks down behind the counter and leaves Graf there.
You said that before, Graf, but you can't fool me. Not now, not ever.
Haggard, I see you're here. A pleasure.
Yes,
Again.
hello.
How did that bracelet work out for you and your partner?
Oh, it worked marvelously.
Oh, God.
Warm regards to Graf. He seems to have disappeared.
Okay.
I'm
what
going to
can I
bring
do?
this interrogation back on track. I have some notes here from my good friend and team leader, Edwin. And he has asked me to, if I am ever stuck, I'm going to refer to this list.
Well, you're going to have to make it quick because it is coming close to 6:30 when I shut.
And he inspects the first line of opening for interrogation written by Edwin in Edwin's hand, which is what, Joffrey?
Will you comply or will you face the force of the law?
Now, will you comply or will you like to face the force of the law instead?
I will comply.
What do you make this necklace for?
He takes it and he puts it, rotates the thing, and as it comes out, it moves from circular to hexagon to square to triangle. Comes out again. I made this for Miss Olivia Dunham. It was bought by Simon, the fishmonger's son.
Okay. Looks like a pretty expensive piece. What's a fishmonger doing affording something like that?
I don't ask those questions. I take the money and make exquisite pieces of jewelry.
That
You
you do,
know,
sir. That
I
you do.
must say, as a man like yourself does not just make things on commission. He must put his heart and soul into it. He must understand the person and why they are offering to give you money for something in return. You are a very smart man. I'm sure you will. You know in your heart, if not in your mind, or one of your hearts anyway. I don't know how many hearts you have. Why Simon asked you for this this beautiful piece? You must know,
Be-
sir.
I would guess because he loves her. She also has a perfume that is scented with the hope of a butterfly.
Oh, well, I guess we probably should speak to Hackers, but I'm guessing he's closed up by now.
Oh no, Hackers open all night.
Fair enough. What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, you'll see.
It's quite a nice place. I've been there quite a few times, and it
You
does
have
get
indeed,
the
you
old
have
blood
indeed.
flowing. You know what I mean?
You know, if one wanted to buy a small gift for a superior, what would be a good trinket to get in a place like this?
I would hazard a brooch.
Okay. You know, put it on the expense account of the FBI.
I'm afraid that went over quite some time ago. Haggard, you still owe the money.
It was nice to see you again there, Graf. Same time again next week. I'm still waiting to pick up that other exquisite piece that I commissioned, and he walks out.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling as the door opens. And as the door opens, you can finally see, slightly more sweaty than he was hoping, and a little bit out of breath, but trying not to show it. Edwin finally makes it to Graf's Jewelers, just as the sign gets turned on the inside to closed.
Oh,
Okay.
your brother seemed to have fell off the stairs there, young man. I hope he's okay.
Yes, he's absolutely fine. So, team, finally, I find you. Please try to catch up. So, what have you been doing?
Sorry, I do try.
We got 2 leads. We need to go to the fishmonger's son and check out old Hacker's perfumery.
Also, have you ever thought about wearing a brooch? It
Well,
might compliment you, I think.
Yes, I do think a brooch would be very noble indeed. Anyway, what do you suggest we do first? The fishmongers or the perfume shop?
I'm gonna guess the perfumery's open all night, so fishmongers might be a good shout.
Yeah,
Yes,
let's
that's
catch the
exactly what I was
Simon
going to
chapter.
say. Excellent.
That,
Fishmongers.
Hope they have some cracking tentacles in today. Ooh.
That was a really bad pun, Atlan, but I'll take it.
Right.
So you make your way through the hustle and bustle. Can everyone make me a perception check, please?
I will try.
I'm not rolling
9.
very well today.
Not
It's horrible.
persuasion, Geoffrey, perception.
Oh, that's me. Oh, yes, I did perception.
Mhm.
Yeah. Persuasion. That's just how you roll. You don't even perceive, you just persuade.
Brilliant.
That's quite a different role.
That's
Makes
quite a
lot
different
more
role.
sense.
Indeed.
Oh, no.
Oh my god!
I
I'm
rolled
so
a
busy
rolled a
trying to convince
20.
them that I was leading. I'm so busy trying to convince them
yeah,
that I'm
so-
the leader, that I'm oblivious to everything. I guess.
Just
Thank you for catching up
pretending
with
that
me.
everything's okay and that
Yes.
nothing happened half an hour ago.
Exactly.
So as you're heading off to the fishmongers, they're all leading ahead, and Hudson, you spot out the corner of your eye a small cloaked figure just popping out from behind every now and again.
Okay. I would like to. Can I roll a stealth check to try and disappear into the crowds and sort of circle round?
Yeah,
Can I use that
Yeah.
advantage on that roll that I got from
you can. Yes, you can.
Thank you. Oh, I rolled 2 18s.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Right. So
nice.
you sort of dodge behind, and what you see is this little tiny cloaked figure looking left and right as you appear from behind a stall right behind
I learned that one from Lack.
it. Don't stab him through the back there.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to
Yeah. And I'm gonna just just decops him. You looking for someone, Haas?
Oh Christ! All right, mate.
I'm gonna put my foot on his cloak so he can't run if it's down to the ground.
Oh God. Hey, easy, tiger. Is that? Am I allowed to say that?
I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Oh,
Okay. I'm going to give you half a second to realise that this is probably a child of about 12
Fine.
before you follow through with that. You can still choose to punch him if you want to.
I'm gonna take the cloak off and go thinking it may be a gnome or a dwarf or something, and then realize.
Yeah. Look, I'm not. Hey, just calm it.
What are you following me for?
Shh. Quick. And he's looking over his shoulder. Quick, mate. Come here.
All right, I'm gonna duck in, but have my claws out ready.
Look, I know you like the FBI and all, and we don't always seem to see eye to eye, but it's not me you need to be worrying about. It's him.
Who's there?
And he points, and just on the edge outside Graff's Jewelers, 1 second, this little fella here. It's a small figure, or quite a rather tall figure that sees you the moment you turn round because you've made quite a commotion.
Yeah.
And pegs it.
I, as a CM Peg, would like to cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Dudley's face. We will say nothing. Continue.
Yeah.
Because it's someone running away,
Yeah.
can I see if I can see him flight?
Not right now, but this is the beginning of a skills challenge.
Okay.
So I'm going to pause. I'm just going to quickly pause.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who haven't done a skills challenge before, but some of you might, it's basically you have to get a number of successes as a group in a skills challenge before you get a number of failures as a group. And per round, you can't do the same skill in subsequent rounds. So if you do athletics in the first round, you can't do athletics in the second round. Okay. Also, we're going to roll initiative. If the person, you can't do the same skill as the person before you. So if Ryan were to go first and to do an acrobatics check, Bradley couldn't then go after and do an acrobatics check. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So can it be like...
if you're one apart, then you can. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Super descriptions of what you're trying to do may or may not make the DC harder or easier. And we'll go from there. There might be some extra little rules as we go along. All make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you all, just for now, drag your tokens on, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to be, it's theatre of the mind, but it's just so you can use it to roll initiative. So I'm going to bring up a turn order. And I think if you click your token so that it's highlighted and then you roll your initiative, it should put it on the turn order for me.
6.
Beautiful, look at that. 18 for Edwin. Great work. That worked a lot better and a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. So that's great. So that looks like to me like Edwin goes first. So yes, what are you going to do?
What I was going to say is, I think I should notice that this man is running away because I fight and they flight.
Correct.
So I'm going to go with, oh God, I just have the worst perception in the world.
Could use like athletics to bolt after him.
No, you have to, whatever you're going to do, say what you're going to do, and then I'll let you know what the skill what skill that's appropriate.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, just that I feel someone running away, and my instinct is to go chase after them. And kill
Okay,
them
well, that
just
would be an
because.
insight. That would be an insight check then,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
Yeah.
15. Okay, so we'll call that one success for the group.
How many successes and failures do we
Oh, well, you'll just have to find
That's
that
a
out.
DM secret. Always a DM secret.
Oh, okay. fair enough.
You might find out as we're going through, because that might become one of those things. So as you're walking along, it feels colder than normally. There's not as many people paying attention to you talking. And you turn around, and Hudson's not there, and you see him reaching out. He's got a little child in one fist, and he's looking over the kid's shoulder at something else, and you look past it like Dirty Two goes, zooms past it, and you start to bolt after him. Hudson, you're next.
I'd like to cast Hunter's Mark on this figure.
Okay. So that will help you track him. So for this
next
round,
hour, I get advantage on any wisdom, perception or survival checks, and I can know
where his location. Yeah. So for this round, you don't get any positives or negatives. You just get the advantage for the next round. Absolutely, I will let that happen. That's a great move.
Oh, it's casted, but that's fine.
You're mine.
Yeah.
You say, and you can see the body sort of forcibly like stand up a little bit more before it goes to bolt again. That looks like the turtle.
And that's when he said, oh, God, I thought you were listening to the story. What's going on? And he sort of turned around and says, oh, okay, well, and then he starts trying to slowly sort of move through the really dense part of the crowd, like convincing people to move out of the way. Oh, excuse me, it's like it's an old man coming through, excuse me.
So that's going to be a persuasion check then. I see what you're doing.
Sweet.
Very good.
23.
Oh, that's a phenomenal.
Wow.
And in fact, they all know about this. So some of them are looking towards where you're looking. And one of the guardsmen, you see this guardsman here, whistles the other one. And that guard jumps out in front of the retreater, the scarpering offender, which the offender smacks into the guard, knocks him sprawling, but it definitely slows him down, like he's lost a couple of paces on what you were doing. So that's 2 successes for the group. It is now Atlan. Great job.
Okay, so for flavor, I want to sort of use maybe some kind of sonar, but what I actually want to do is map the area and see where the quickest route to intercept is, so that even if I can't make it myself, I can inform somebody else of the quickest.
Super. Yeah. Okay. So that's definitely a perception check.
Okay. Oh, that's a good roll. Okay, 21. Finally.
Yeah, 21.
Roll. Okay.
So what you've noticed is that one of the quickest ways might be to actually go across the roofs, because there seems to be a lot of these adjoining sort of branches. You could Assassin's Creed and get up if you were fast enough to maybe climb up walls or something. You shout out.
Okay.
So that's 3 successes, and now it's his go. So he can take away successes or add successes to you. Can't add failures, depending on his ability. So he looks round, and he's right by one of those, right by one of the stalls and stuff, with lots of barrels and apples.
Classic.
So he grabs them, he throws them on the ground, putting the things in front of you. So instead of failure at success, that will make the next physical activity be at disadvantage, which makes it Edwin's go again.
So I will use my natural charm and commanding voice to say to him, "Stop in the name of the law. If you comply now, you will not be harmed any more than necessary."
Intimidation. I'll make that an intimidation then. Freeze. Perp.
Oh my God.
No.
And that is a natural 1. So that is 2 automatic failures.
I have been Bradleyed. I've officially been Bradleyed.
You take all of my luck this game.
And he's using your full name as well. It's not even.
I know.
That's what happens.
As you go, as you go to shout at him, you don't look where you're going, and you trip on one of the apples. The apples, you do a full clown as you're like, stop where you're going, looking like an absolute clown, arms floundering in the air, and you reach out for the nearest thing to try and grab, and it happens to be Hudson, and you pull him and you down to the ground. The guy seems to scarper, gets a bit of distance on you now. Hudson, you'll go. You are floundering on the floor, being pinned down by Edwin, desperately trying to claw your way out.
So I've got, as part of my racial traits, feline agility, which allows me to double my speed. So I want to use that to sort of wriggle away. Like, when you try and grab a cat and somehow they turn and they just completely escape your grasp.
Yeah.
So I guess I want to use that to get out and get up onto the roofs after listening to Thingy, so I can get a better.
Okay, so that'll be an athletics check at disadvantage.
Okay.
But I will let you get up there because of your double speed.
Okay, at disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
Why would you do that to me?
Because Joffrey rolled a natural 1. That's why.
I know.
My third natural 1 of the day.
That's unbelievable.
An 11.
That's
11 at disadvantage. Does my feline agility not give me anything with that, or
it lets you get out of there and up onto the roof if you do. So 11 isn't quite enough. So that's 3 failures so far. But you get out from Edwin's grasp, but the apples are still there, and you're climbing up, and you get up to the top, and it's someone's laundry line. So again, which is going to be hilarious. You just fall down again, cartoon style, down to the ground. So instead of going up, you fall back down, and now he's just jinked down an alleyway, not entirely sure where he's gone. Turtle.
So I'm going to see which alleyway he's gone down, and I'm going to go to move through the shop, and just like, I'm ever so sorry, but I really need to use your restroom. You know how it is in old age. And then like sneak out and not sneak, but just like move out the back door instead of going to the bathroom.
Yeah, well, because you did persuasion last, I can't have you persuade. So
but I'm
you
trying
used the
to
word
deceive.
I see what you're trying to do.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Okay, do you know what? I'll let you do that because I was going to make you stealth otherwise, but I'll let you do some deception. That's fine.
Thank you. That's very cool.
Brilliant! That's another natural 1.
Oh my!
This is a weird, fucking awful.
That's terrible.
Game,
so that's 5 failures for the group, which means you have failed the skill. I wasn't expecting this.
No.
You failed the skill challenge.
Hagrid does find that he actually needs the toilet and instead goes to the toilet.
No, so here's what happens. Hagrid's making his way through the shop, and Edwin gets up from the apples, sees where he's going, and runs down the alleyway to the side. Atlan's already been bolting around. He's followed. He's jinked around around the alleyway because he's been on his feet watching his sonars blatting out, and he takes what he thinks is the right turning. And Hudson, jumping across the roof, sees it all, and you all merge at exactly the same time, and you jump into this alleyway, and he's waiting for you at the end of the alleyway. Like, oh, hello. And you're in the alleyway.
We're all in the alleyway.
Why?
Ding, ding, ding. And that's where we'll leave it for today. We're like 10 minutes. We're 10 minutes short, but I think that feels like a really good place to end the episode. So you are now in the alleyway, and we'll pick it up there from next time.
If only Christine was here, she'd whip up like a sort of 24 style thing of all of our faces, wouldn't she? And then, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
if Christine
absolutely.
was around, she'd whip up something amazing, 24 style.
So yes, we will pick up there because next week we're still down personnel. So don't worry, you'll still be able to find out what happens to these absolutely hapless probationary agents.
And what will the consequences be for failing this skill?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Dan has to invent them because that's how much he thought we were going to succeed, right?
Dan fortunately does know, because Dan knows exactly what these groups are like. What will happen to our... also, please be ready to do a recap next week when I say previously on 4.
Yeah.
We'll do a recap of what happened.
Obviously on Battlestar Galactica.
I really need to sit down.
I mean,
yeah. Can it just be dialogue? Can we only use previous dialogue for our recap?
I love it. That really should be what it is, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, and an action of like when Hudson's drowning in the river and stuff like that.
It could just be clips of all our failures, like me falling off the stairs, Hudson drowning, like every time we screwed something up.
Haggard
And
shits his pants.
If anyone wants to give us the script for previously on 4 for next week, where can they send that to, Ryan?
you can send us the script at Blood Song Party on Twitter or Blood and Song on Facebook and Instagram. Let us know what we need to say, what is the condensed version of this, because where we can buy new virtual dice.
Ryan is fuming. Ryan is fuming.
Awful.
He's never lost the skills challenge
I
yet.
love a skill challenge.
Absolutely...
Even the time where I attempted to do push-ups and failed that, but we still haven't
didn't even get a chance to try and succeed. It was just natural
just
one
two
after natural
ones.
Absolutely fantastic work.
Destroyed it.
Well, it's getting late and I'm doing rehearsals, so I've had an absolute blast doing this. I was a bit nervous about smashing it out because it was last minute, but it's been an absolute pleasure with you fellas running what has been quite an adventure so far. Who knows if Olivia Dunham will survive? At this point, probably not. Expect to see the mayor's daughter arrive back in pieces at the end of next week. We can have some audience participation next week, so maybe we can grant our hapless adventurers some positives if they can think of some awesome one-liners or some awesome Jack Bauer. No one's done it. Damn it, Chloe. No one's done it yet.
Damn it yet.
So let's see how much we can add in. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure. And hopefully we'll see you next week.
Bye.